Bonjour, so today we're going to cover lesson 1.1 where we're going to have a look at the breakdown of the French Living Cert exam and also the written section. So first of all, the French Living Cert exam is divided into 4 sections. The first section is comprehension skills. The second section is the written section, which is section B. The first one is section A. Then you have your oral exam that you sit during your Easter break. And finally, your listening exam that takes place just after your written exam. So let's have a look at the exam breakdown. First, for the section A, the reading comprehension, it's worth 30%, which is a total of 120 marks, 60 marks for each text. You have 2 texts that you must answer. Section B, written production, is 25%, and it's worth 100 marks. You have to answer to 2 questions for this section. Oral exam, during Easter break in your own school, 25% of your paper, and the listening exam is 20%, which is a total of 80 marks. It's a total of 80 marks for the listening exam. So the overall exam is worth 400 marks. So you have 120 for the reading comprehension, 100 for the written, where you have 2 questions to answer, 100 marks for your oral, and 80 marks for your listening. So let's have a look at the section A, reading comprehensions first. Question 1, text 1, is an extract from a newspaper or magazine. So that's why it's called journalistic extracts, and it's worth 60 marks. The question 2 is text 2, which is a literary extract and is worth 60 marks, and it's extracted from a book or a novel. So question 1, let's have a look at question 1. Question 1, the students will find it a bit more easier, but not every year, because the language is a bit more modern and easier to understand. Question 2 is extracted from a book or a novel. You have a long piece of dialogue in it, and you also have some narrative form. It doesn't really matter that the literary text is a bit more difficult, because nowadays the texts are extracted from very modern novel. The last one from the past paper 2024 was extracted from a book that was written in 2021, for example. We're going to have a look at the breakdown of the reading comprehension. So you have 5 marks for each question. Remember, you have 6 questions, 5 marks for each question. Question 6, which is in English, and you have to answer in English, is worth 10 marks. So you have to make 2 points, 5 marks each. And that's question 6. So the total for both texts is 120 marks, and that's 30% of your paper. So just to give you an idea, I'll give you a visual of the first question, section A of your paper, compréhension écrite, 60 points, 60 marks, and you have a little picture here, and that's extracted from lazep.fr, a website online, journal type of style. Question 2, littéraire, extracted from a book. Here the author is Camille Goudot, and the book was written in 2021. So literary, very modern here. It's not like it used to be. Question 6, that you have to answer in English. You have 2 boxes where you answer, 5 marks each. Remember that you have to fill in the lines and develop your answer. That's the only question where you have to develop your answer. You have the start of the question in Irish, and here, the question is in English. Now we're going to have a look at the section B, which is a written section of your exam. And let's have a look at the breakdown first. So question 1 is compulsory. You have 3 choices between A, B, or C. And that's worth 60 marks. You have 30 for the communication and 30 for the language. Question 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 are worth 40 marks. It's 20 for the communication and 20 for the language. And that's a total of 100 marks for both. 60 for question 1, 40 for question 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. So you have to answer 2 questions in section B. You must pick one of question 1, which is compulsory, A, B, or C, and one of question 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And how you select the question is very important. Pick a topic that you're comfortable with. So we're going to have a look at the first one, compulsory question with the 3 choices. So the 3 choices are an opinion piece, abstract question, or a short story. Opinion piece, most of you know what it is, where you give your opinion about a topic, very often about current affairs, addiction, drugs, racism. We'll see the common topics later on. Abstract question is more of a general question, very broad, where, for example, we will ask you, pensez-vous que l'argent fait le bonheur? Do you think that money brings happiness? And the short story, you will recognize it such as le récit, is where you have to tell us a little story, where it could be imaginary or real. Between question 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, you have those options. Opinion piece again, diary entry, which is question 2, or an email. So now we're going to look at this past paper for you to have a clear visual of all the questions. Question 1 is an opinion piece. Question 1b is an abstract question. Question 1c is a short story. You recognize a short story because in brackets at the end, you have votre récit peut être réel ou imaginaire. Because just for you to be comfortable with it. Question 2 is a journal intime. You see it here on the question. What do you write about it in your diary entry? Very obvious for question 3, which is the email. And finally, qu'en pensez-vous? Opinion piece. For question 4, let's look at question 5. Question 5 is also an opinion piece about sport and health, la santé. Qu'en pensez-vous? What do you think about it? And question 6 is also an opinion piece here about the migrants. So the opinion piece here and here, you notice that they're both opinion pieces as well. The only difference is the format. You have a picture, sometimes you have a photo, sometimes you have a graph, sometimes you have an extract from a book. So you just have to address the question the same way as you will address a question if it was question 1 opinion piece. So now we're going to have a little look at the list of common topics that come up in the opinion piece, just to give you an idea. So you have le sport et les jeunes, l'alcool, la drogue, le tabac for addiction, la santé mentale, mental health, le bac et la pression du bac et le système de points, living cert and point system, la crise du logement et les sans-abri, housing crisis and homelessness, l'immigration en Irlande, immigration in Ireland, le racisme and BLM, racism and Black Lives Matters, technology, media, so everything, social network, Instagram, phones, you can literally have all the topics. And you can relate technology to addiction, that young people are too addicted to their phone or TikTok, etc. Terrorism, wars and conflicts, and inequalities. Inequalities could be about social inequalities, gender inequalities between men and women. So that gives you a good idea of all the topics that are the most common for the French Living Cert paper. Merci. Au revoir.
If you like this video, you'll love our notes. You can get some for free in the link in the description of this video.